wait till my clerk puts us online for all those happy viewers. This is the September 25th meeting of the Norton Permanent Building Committee. I'm Jim Slattery, the current chairman. Kevin is here, Bob Briscoe is here, Jim Slattery is here, Mark is here, and our town hall select representative is here. There's some people in the audience. There's representatives from Vertex and DVW, and the director of the senior center is here. First thing on the agenda is approval of minutes, which my clerk doesn't have yet, so we won't do that. Correspondence and mail, we could be home by 6:15. Correspondence and mail, there was no correspondence, there was no mail. I'm still visiting the town hall at least 2 or 3 times a week, signing vouchers and whatever. That would be the chair's report. I am visiting the sites, although not as much because I was away on business for a week. And I'll turn everything over to Stephen.
Thanks, Jim. Good evening, everyone. The OPM report for the Community Support Center and Town Hall projects. I will start off with the Community Center. Progress since our last PBC meeting. Interior wall framing has continued. Roof trusses and the first layer of plywood sheathing has been installed. The entry timber framing has been installed. They have started siding and trim installation. Windows are installed. The fireplace box and flue installation has started. Plumbing rough-ins have started, and HVAC equipment has been delivered and stored in a Connex box. Photo documentation for the Senior Community Center, going back to early mid-September. You've got a view of the southeast elevation on the left and then the northeast elevation on the right. And you can see at that time siding was just starting and they were still working on the roof truss installation. As we continue around the building on that same day, you've got additional siding shown on the northwest elevation, and then siding installation, and they're working on the roof sheathing on the southwest elevation of the rear of the building. Also on the 12th, you've got the installation of the column and the beam for the front entry, and food pantry drive-up window had been installed. Moving on to the next week on September 19th, photo on the left shows the timber framing that's at the front entry that's bearing on the column and beam that is cantilevered out from the front of the building. Photo on the right is just a view down the mezzanine attic walkway, which where mechanical equipment will be located. Next 2 photos are 2 views of the multi-purpose room. The one on the left is facing what will eventually be the rear patio. They're working on that wall, which is the window wall. And then the photo on the right is facing towards the corridor lobby area where you have your 3 entry doors. Again, on the 19th, which was a week ago, further work has been done on the siding and trim. On the left is the southeast elevation, on the right is the northeast elevation. Trusses are completed and more roof sheathing has been installed. Also, the photo on the left on the 19th is when the fireplace firebox was installed and they started working on the flue. And then on the right you have some plumbing rough-ins for the toilet rooms. Any questions on progress to date? Okay. Schedule look ahead, they're going to continue the roof sheathing with the second layer. The window sash on the Quaker windows did come in with a problem with the bowing, with the sash. They were bowed. The frames were square, but the sash were bowed. Quaker Window is the manufacturer. They've delivered replacement sash to the site and will be replacing all the sash on the building. They're going to continue siding and trim installation. Once the second layer of plywood is installed, they're going to start the roofing with the underlayment and the shingles. They'll continue MEPFP rough-ins, and they have started the septic system. They've done some of the layout for the septic system. And they'll work their way out of the back of the building. Other issues for the senior center, we did have our meeting today with Mass DOT. It was this afternoon. Basically, our issue was the fact that the Mass DOT is requiring the project to install a sidewalk along the front of the building along Route 140 as a condition of the permit for the curb cuts. They provided no relief on that requirement today whatsoever. Ed, Bob, and Mike and myself did attend that meeting along with probably 8 representatives from DOT. Basically, they said that that's their requirements for any work that's being done on any state roads. Mike asked a great question being, well, when you repaved the road, how come you didn't do the sidewalks then? And they said that they would get back to us. The only concession that they really made throughout the whole conversation was that they would prioritize connecting our new sidewalk in front of 114 to connect to the sidewalk on Freeman Street. Because as much as we said that these sidewalks go to nowhere and you're probably not going to do any sidewalks on the causeway, they were not persuaded. So we have pricing on it. We're going to work on their pricing to better it, and it'll be incorporated into the project one way or the other. We'll get more into that. We have some ideas of where we can maybe get some better pricing than we did from the contractor. The windows, like I said, the window sash were delivered bowed, but the frames were square. Quaker Window has delivered the new sash and will replace all of them. And the project schedule, we still don't have an accepted baseline schedule. We've sent it back 3 to 4 times anyways. They have requested a 15-day time extension for the unsuitable soils, which has been denied. Change orders to date, we've already processed change order 1 and 2. We do have change order number 3, which we want to go over tonight so that we can send it to the contractor for signatures. PCO 3R was to add occupancy sensors to the large program room. We eventually came to an agreement of $1,681.45 after a couple go-rounds. PCO 4R, the kitchen exhaust fan circuit breaker was changed. That was a small add of $313.48. And then PCO 10R3, which is the rubber bricks that were requested by the COA, which we talked about at our last meeting, and that's $66,791.25. So that would make our change order number 3 total $68,786.18. So we've discussed the rubber bricks, and the other 2 are small items. So want to present it to you. If you have any questions or anything, we can go over it. But okay, we'll issue that to the contractor for his signature, and then
I just wanna ask, the patio bricks are gonna be funded by donation, the $66,000 we talked about last week.
Yep.
50 of that is gonna come from the money that was donated by Senator Feeney, which is already in that account. I just wanted to, we have to vote on that or something? I just wanted to let the board know.
That was already voted on, I believe.
Huh?
I think you already voted on it.
We already voted?
Yeah.
Okay, cool beans, thanks.
So, to date, we have issued change orders totaling $161,470.92 or including this change order number 3. Our construction contingency was 1.1 million. Remaining construction contingency is $1,007,854, and I'm not subtracting the 66,000 because that's different funding. So if you do that math, that's when math doesn't quite look right. So I noted that 10R3 was with donation funds. Any questions on senior center before I move on to town hall? Good.
She's coming along nicely.
Town hall progress since our last meeting, backfilling of the footing and foundation walls on the interior side and partial exterior. They've done the foundation insulation. They've installed the domestic and fire water service at the building, not out to the street yet, but they want to get the building backfilled. Site drainage and septic installation has been ongoing. We did encounter another boulder that was in the trenching for the septic system they used a hoe ram to remove, and they have started the under slab electric and plumbing as of last week. Some quick photo documentation on town hall. Then go back to the 12th September, they were backfilling the interior portion of the foundation. The green is your rigid insulation that's placed on the inside face of the wall. And this is looking out towards the rear of the building is the DPW facility there and the police station here. Photo on the right is a week later. Much more backfilling has been completed. This is actually facing in the opposite direction from the previous photo. Next photo on the left, the masons are last week were working on the elevator shaft, CMU for the elevator shaft. And photo on the right is our fire water line and our domestic water line going into the building foundation. Next photo on the left, they did have a little mishap with the duct bank that feeds utilities to the DPW. This is the duct bank for services that they just moved and reinstalled. They did catch it with the excavator, and as you can see, they pulled the wires out. Unfortunately, none of the wiring was disconnected. Never lost power or telephone or internet to the DPW. They have since chipped a lot of this concrete away. They are planning, they're taking full responsibility for it. They're going to correct what's necessary. There'll probably be a short shutdown that they will keep the DPW running, most likely off of generator power, and put all that back together. And then the photo on the right is just showing another manhole installation, but this time it's for the septic system. Schedule look ahead for the town hall. Going to continue backfilling the foundation, continue under slab utilities, in particular plumbing and electrical. Going to complete the masonry for the elevator shaft. They're looking to pour the slab on grade. We did have a pre-installation meeting last week with all the, with the trades. The plan is they're probably going to pour it in 3 sections. But means and methods up to them, but we went over everything along with the structural engineer of what's necessary. And everything will be inspected and tested. And then the site guy is going to continue with his utilities and his new septic system. Any questions on progress? Town Hall, other issues. The DPW duck bank, like I explained, they did hit it when they were doing excavation work for the septic. Utilities were not interrupted, luckily, and they're going to do all the repairs. We did or are having an issue with exterior backfill material. The contractor intended on using on-site soil to backfill the foundation. They did it without having a sample tested and approved. We did notice it when we were on site 2 weeks ago. Essentially had them stop, sent a sample out with Yankee, who was our third-party testing company, and it did come back today as being not passing the requirements for structural material. So we're going to be having a conversation with them tomorrow at the meeting as to what they are proposing as a remedy, but material that is up against the wall will have to be pulled back. And then as far as schedule goes, they did just give us an August schedule update, and they are currently on time with the contract dates. Town Hall change orders. We issued change order 1 and 2. We have change order 3. That is, we're going to go over tonight and in order to issue to the contractor. PCO 10R1, this is for changing the floor-mounted toilets to wall-hung toilets in an amount of $19,953.73. PCO 14, this was for the unforeseen rock within the trench, which was a unit price, and that was $19,340. PCO 15, we had a revision to the electrical for the elevator, which ended up being a credit of $1,757.26. And then PCO 16, when we, and I think we went through this last meeting, when we discussed the switchgear, and the switchgear manufacturer said it's going to be a year plus before I can deliver the materials. We went through the effort of going back over with the electrician who had approved submittals to change the vendor that he's using for his switchgear, which he's done, and he's released, and we have a much more palatable delivery date, which will fit into the schedule. However, there was a cancellation restocking fee that came up that we felt that was justified to reimburse the electrical contractor for, and that was total $14,314.25. So again, we have a total change order of $51,850.72. That gives us a total to date of change orders of $52,315.37. And our construction contingency is $849,640. We're left at $797,000 and change. So we're in very good shape on our construction contingency for the town hall also. And all of these items are well below the limit that we set for approvals. So, and we've been vetting them. They don't necessarily go through first round.
I had a question. I just wanted to question the one for the floor mount, the wall mount toilets. What's the reason for that?
The plumbing was set up for wet wall, which is essentially a wall mount system, but the specification specified floor mount toilets, so it just wasn't gonna work. And they priced the floor mount, which are less expensive than the wall mount because of the carriers. Every wall mount toilet has to have a carrier inside the wall, and that's the main cost on that, is the carrier, not necessarily the china itself. Because he did give a credit back for what he owned on the floor toilets, but it was much less. So it was just a bust in the spec.
Any other questions? Mark?
On the schedule update, what's the estimated substantial completion date for town hall?
For town hall, we have, there's a couple, and
I don't remember off the top of
I wrote them
my
down.
head. I don't know why I wanna say August to September, but I'm not positive.
Of 24?
We have substantial completion in July for the town hall building.
Okay.
And then we have a phase two, which is the site, which goes out to October.
Yeah.
And I knew you were gonna ask that, and I had them written down on a sheet of paper. And now I can't find it. Here we go. So town hall, substantial completion, July 12th, 24. Final completion, August 13th. And then phase two, completion is October 13th. And then closeout of the entire project is November 13th. And we have a date for furniture to be delivered of July 15th.
Phase 2 is the site work.
Phase two is, yeah, the site work and the small demo of the food pantry addition.
It's the balance of that front parking lot and the work around the fire department.
No.
Senior Center's still on schedule for June next year.
That's a great question. We're having difficulty getting a schedule update from the contractor. I think, personally, I think he's behind. He's lost all the time that we granted him with the early start. And like I said earlier, they were looking for a 15-day time extension for the unsuitables, which we denied. So right now, contractually, he's still on the hook for our original dates, which is
What happens
the
if
May
we go-
timeframe.
What happens if we go by that?
Well, then we have to consider whether we're going to assess liquidated damages or not, which I believe is $2,000 a calendar day. That becomes a deduct. And that's just not a number that's pulled out of the air, that
Standard.
covers additional services and additional, for Ed, Bob, and Vertex, at a minimum.
Maybe furniture.
Yeah, there could be delays on storage fees for furniture not being able to be moved in. And other sundry items, so.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Before we leave the town hall, we did have one thing to
Yeah.
go over tonight. Take it away, Bob.
Yeah, we're looking for approval for the roof shingle color. We've kind of narrowed it down to this color here, which show on our renderings. Black shingles here.
What's the name?
So it's a Max Def Muri Black by Landmark Pro.
Do you need a vote on that? Or just,
Not to get a vote, but
Or at least a
approval.
consensus so that we can tell them.
I'll ask for a motion and a vote on approval of the color of the shingles for the
Town hall.
town hall.
Yep.
You can.
So moved.
Kevin makes the motion,
Second.
Mark makes
discussion?
the,
Just want to open it up to Mike, see what his thoughts are, if you can see it well on the camera. And Steve's as well.
Steve says yes.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Is that the same color that's going on the senior center building?
No, this is slightly darker.
It's a little darker than the rendering.
Is it
but I
still,
think it's fine.
still gray, or is it a brownish tone for the center? It's hard to tell from the pictures.
It was a different shingle.
Okay.
Thumbs up, Mike?
Mike, any comments?
Is Mike on?
Yeah. Hi, Mike. You like black?
Yes.
Show the mills of the.
okay, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, including the town manager, say aye, which Mike said, and Steve, do you have a comment?
No, he's
I'm
part
gonna say
of the
aye.
vote.
You're gonna say aye,
Aye.
aye, you can't vote, aye,
Aye.
aye, it passes unanimously,
Thank you.
it's black,
Forward black.
like we really didn't have much of a choice,
It's a tough one.
but,
It's like a Model T, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
okay, I guess the next thing on the agenda would be picking next month's meeting.
We can do
The 23rd is town meeting, so it'll probably have to be the 30th.
the week after, so 27th, oh, they said the 30th?
Yeah.
Want to wait till December 4th? What do you want to go before, anything pressing?
October?
December?
October?
October.
October.
October, yeah,
Like, wow, that's a long time.
skipping a lot here,
Trying to move the project along, Jim.
yes,
23rd.
Try to do
I
some
don't
odd
have a
minutes.
problem with that. How about
October.
the fourth
October.
Monday in October, what's
When's-
opposed to
when's
that?
Halloween?
That's town meeting.
When's Halloween?
The 31st,
It's a
so the
Tuesday.
30th.
Well, the 30th is Monday.
So how about the 23rd?
That works.
On
Thought that was-
The 23rd is town meeting.
Town meeting.
Oh, I thought you were saying the
The
30th.
30th, okay, how about the
No, no.
30th?
30th.
30th works.
Any day that isn't the town meeting. I'll ask Beth again if
Yep.
you can host.
Absolutely.
That's 6 o'clock here,
30th.
the
30th.
30th of October, not December.
I tried.
Okay, any other questions?
I just have a question, any update from the FF&E subcommittee on the furniture selections and that kind of thing, or is that
We're
moving
still
along?
waiting on pricing.
Okay.
We hope to have back this week. They've been taking a lot longer than we would have liked.
Gotcha.
Is
All
that
the
the
selections?
senior center or the
Senior
town
center.
hall or both?
Senior Center, and we're hoping to start the meetings on the town hall shortly.
Okay,
Great.
any other questions? I'm waiting for that secret motion.
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed, thank you.
Thank you.